Um, Hi everybody. My topic for the presentation is overview of the new CSR regime. Company's corporate social responsibility policy amendment rules came out on 22nd of January 2021. These rules have significantly made significant changes to the regulatory framework governing the monitoring and evaluation of CSR activities and utilization of CSR expenditure. The basic aim of these rules are to curb the maleficent intentions of the company with respect to executing of the CSR projects. So let's begin with defining what is CSR and how is it applicable to a company. So according to the new CSR rules, CSR means activities undertaken by a company in pursuance of its statutory obligation laid down in Section 135 of the Companies Act and provisions contained in company's CSR policy rules 2014, which has been amended by the 2021 amendment. Um, According to Section 135 of the Companies Act 2013, every company having a net worth of rupees 500 crores or more, or turnover of rupees 1000 crores or more, or net profit of rupees 5 crore or more during the immediately preceding financial year are mandatorily required to constitute a corporate social responsibility. So, at least one of its the director should be an independent director. So recently in August 2021, MCA came up with the clarification regarding the CSR rules, as a lot of concerns were raised by corporates with respect to the same. So here this MCA clarified that Section 8 company which satisfies this requirement must also comply with the CSR obligations. However, a Section 8 company is required to utilize its profits towards achieving the charitable objects. And it is also does not require to be declared a dividend. So therefore, I feel imposing a CSR obligation on a Section 8 company sounds counterintuitive. Then the new CSR rules also define activities which will not be considered as CSR, like activities considered by the undertaken by the company in its normal course of business. Here, an exemption has been granted for undertaking research and development activities for COVID-19 related vaccines, drugs, and medical devices for financial year 2021, 21-22, and 22-23. These are activities, even if conducted in the normal course of business, would be considered as CSR expenditure. Then activities undertaken outside India, except training of sports personnel representing India in national or international competitions, then contribution of any amount to any political party, then activities benefiting employees of the company. So here the MCA has clarified that any activity designed exclusively for the benefit of the employees will not be qualified as CSR expenditure. However, if the employees are incidental beneficiaries and the scheme is dedicated towards the public at large, then such activities will be qualified as CSR expenditure. Activities support by the company on sponsorship basis, for example, marketing benefits for its products or services, then activities carried out to fulfill statutory obligation under any law. So these activities will not be considered as CSR activities according to the new CSR rules. Then what is the minimum amount to be spent in pursuance of CSR? Every company is required to spend in every financial year a minimum of 2% of the average net profits of the company, which has been made during the 3 immediately preceding financial years. So the 2021 amendment has now introduced that where the company has not completed the period of 3 years since its incorporation, then the average net profit will be calculated according to such preceding financial years. So the rationale behind taking out this provision was because the companies were escaping their CSR obligations based on the fact that it hasn't been 3 years since their incorporation. So now even if they have not completed 3 years, they still will have to, uh, they will still be qualified for conducting CSR. However, another provision that the new CSR rules came provide for is that where this 2% of the net average profits does not exceed 50 lakhs, then the formation of the corporate social responsibility committee will not be necessary, and the CSR functions can be discharged by the board of directors only in the scenario. So the key provisions of the new rules that I will be elaborating on are ongoing projects, administrative overheads, unspent CSR account, enhanced obligations of the board and CSR committee, capital assets, corpus contribution, and set off in surplus. So ongoing projects. So where the CSR projects are extended beyond 1 year, what will happen in those cases? So the new CSR regime has now defined the word ongoing projects. So ongoing projects basically mean multi-year projects that have been undertaken by the company in respect of its CSR obligations. The timeline of such project must not exceed 3 years in which it was commenced, and it will also include those projects which were initially not a multi-year project but whose duration has been extended beyond 1 year. However, company has to provide reasonable explanation for the same. So here MCA has clarified that duration of an ongoing project cannot be extended to the maximum permissible time period, whatever may be the reasons. Then another aspect of CSR is the CSR expenditure. So here the new CSR rules have defined the term administrative overheads. So administrative overheads are the expenses incurred by the company for general management and administration of CSR functions. It does not include the expenses directly incurred for designing, implementing, monitoring, and evaluation of a CSR project. There has been a cap that has been put on these expenses that it should not exceed 5% of the total CSR expenditure. So giving an example of administrative overheads is salaries of the employees working under the CSR division of the company, their travel expenditure, stationery expenses, etc. However, salary of a school teacher who are imparting education as a education program under CSR, salaries of such teacher will not be considered as administrative overheads and will actually be considered under the education project cost of CSR. So MCA here has clarified that expenses incurred by implementing agencies towards CSR activities will not amount to administrative overheads and cannot be claimed by the company. The expenses has to be incurred by the company itself. So the new term that has been explained by the new CSR rules is unspent CSR amount. So earlier, the principle that was followed under this was comply or explain. Like, for example, if the company was not able to comply with the CSR policies, then the company was required to explain as to why it was not able to comply with it. However, now the company fails to, if the company fails to spend minimum amount of 2% of the average profit, then it should specify the reasons for not spending such amount in its report. And the 2021 amendment introduced from 22nd of January 2021 says that such unspent amount is now required to be transferred to a fund specified in Schedule 7 of the Companies Act within 6 months from the expiry of the financial year. However, if the unspent amount relates to any ongoing project, which I just explained, then such amount is required to be transferred to a special account that has to be opened by the company in a scheduled bank by the name of Unspent Corporate Social Responsibility Account within a period of 3 financial years from the date of transfer. Provided that if the company fails to transfer this amount to the unspent corporate social responsibility account, then the same shall be transferred to the fund specified in Schedule 7 of the Companies Act within a period of 30 days from the completion of the 3rd financial year. This is only in case of an ongoing project. So implementing agencies. Implementing agencies are agencies that can be engaged by the company in fulfilling their CSR obligations. Implementing agencies include Section 8 company, registered public trust, registered society, etc. And only entities covered under Rule 4.1 can be appointed as implementing agencies. Now, with effect from April 1, 2021, every entity appointed as an implementing agency must register itself with the central government. In the financial year 2021, due to COVID-19 pandemic, many implementing agencies were not able to utilize full portion of the CSR grant, which was dispersed to them by the company. This resulted in ambiguity regarding whether the company would have fulfilled its CSR obligation once it has dispersed its 2% CSR budget to one or more of the implementing agencies by the last day of the financial year. So the MCA has now clarified that mere dispersal of funds to the implementing agencies would not amount to spending of its CSR funds unless the implementing agency utilizes the whole amount of the CSR grants towards the CSR project. Hence, even if a fractional portion of the grant is unutilized by the last date of the financial year by the implementing agency, then such unutilized portion of the grant would be accounted as unspent CSR. Now here the FAQs which were given by the MCA are silent about whether this amount which has been unspent by the implementing agencies can be clawed back to the company, and whether this unspent amount has to be transferred to the unspent CSR account by the company itself or by the implementing agency. So here the FAQs have not provided any clarity. Then coming to the next aspect is enhanced obligations of board and CSR committees. So the new CSR rules have now imposed additional obligations on the board and CSR committee for monitoring, evaluation and reporting of CSR activities, such as the board now must satisfy itself that CSR funds are utilized in its whole and in the manner approved, and the chief financial officer is also required to give a certification for the same. Then in case of an ongoing project, the board is now supposed to monitor the implementation of the project with reference to the approved timelines, its modification for smooth implementation, etc. Then CSR committee is also required to prepare an annual action plan in pursuance of the CSR policy. The annual action plan will include list of approved CSR projects, manner of execution of CSR projects, etc. And a new obligation that has been imposed on the board is impact assessment. So every company which is obligated to spend CSR amount of minimum 10 crore and above is required to undertake impact assessment through an independent agency only for those CSR projects which have an outlay of rupees 1 crore or more. The impact assessment can be undertaken only after 1 year has been passed since the date of the completion of the project. So this impact assessment obligation is a separate reporting requirement which is distinct from the board's general obligation of monitoring and evaluating implementation of CSR projects. The expenses incurred towards impact assessment should not exceed 5% of the CSR expenditure or rupees 50 lakhs, whichever is lower. This obligation, even if it's being conducted by an implementing agency, must be mandatorily fulfilled. Then capital assets. If the CSR amount can be spent for creation or acquisition of a capital asset. Now, if the CSR amount, if the creation of the capital asset is out of the CSR funds allocated to them, then the company cannot hold this capital asset directly in its name. It can only be held by any one of the entities which has been prescribed under Rule 7(4), which includes a Section 8 company, registered trust or society, beneficiaries of CSR project, or a public authority. And any capital asset created by the company prior to January 2021 must be transferred in the name of any of these entities within a period of 180 days. If the capital asset is created out of the profits of the company, then and is being incidentally used for the CSR activities, then such capital asset can be held in the name of the company, and there's no need for it to be transferred. However, if it is out of CSR funds, then the company has to transfer the same in the name of the implementing agency. Then the MCA has clarified that expenses with respect to stamp duty that will incur in transferring the capital asset and the registration fee will qualify as the CSR expenditure in the year of transfer. Now, corpus contribution. So previously, MCA had clarified that contributions to the corpus of a trust, society, Section 8 company will qualify as a CSR activity provided the entity is exclusively created for undertaking CSR activities, or if the corpus is created exclusively for the purpose relatable to Schedule 7 of the Companies Act. However, MCA has now clarified that with effect from January 22, 2021, corpus contribution will not clarify as CSR expenditure. So the rationale behind this is that the new CSR regime imposes an obligation to undertake CSR activities in a project or a program rather than a mere corpus contribution, which may not directly be used for the targeted beneficiary of a CSR project. Then the new CSR rules have also given an opportunity to the company to set off the excess CSR obligation. So if a company spends an amount in excess of the CSR obligation, then the company now has the option to set off such excess amount against the amount which is to be spent as per the CSR requirement for such number of succeeding financial years. So this excess CSR amount must be set off within the next 3 immediately succeeding financial years, provided a resolution has been passed by the board for the same and the set-up amount is not including any profit which is generated out of the CSR activities. The new CSR rules also clarify that if any profit or surplus is arising out of the CSR activities, then the same shall either, and does not form a part of the business profit, then the same can either be flowed back to the same CSR project or can be transferred to the unspent CSR account, or can also be transferred to funds specified in Schedule 7 of the Companies Act. This provision intends to curb the practice of utilizing the profit generated out of CSR for non-CSR purposes. So now concluding, along with Section 135 of the Companies Act and the new CSR rules, it creates a stringent regulatory architecture for carrying out CSR activities in India. For ensuring compliance with the new legal framework, companies must preserve detailed records of the CSR committee meetings, CSR fund allocations, and projects undertaken through implementing partners. The CSR mandate under Section 135 was originally founded on the principle of comply or explain, where a company could either undertake CSR activities or disclose reasons for failing to spend the CSR amount. However, now there has been a complete departure from this principle, and compliance under Section 135 and these rules have become mandatory. With the added compliance on the corporates with regard to conducting impact assessment or preparing annual action plan or certification by the CFO, it is felt that the new regime has now rather become too prescriptive. Corporates should be given more flexibility to implement their CSR programs. Moreover, the FAQs that have been introduced, that have been clarified by the MCA, lack clarity with respect to a lot of provisions, like whether the unspent CSR amount is required to be submitted to unspent CSR amount is required to be transferred to the account either by the implementing agency or by the company, and whether if the implementing agency is not able to spend the entire CSR amount, then the company can take back that amount, or whether if a company under FCR, if a company is also supposed to fulfill its FCRA obligations, under which a bank account has to be mandatorily opened in the New Delhi branch of the SBI, then whether the same bank account can be considered as an unspent CSR account. So regarding this, a lot of more clarity is required, which I hope that MCA comes up with soon. Thank you.